Season 5 was the season of the Barrow Girl Gang Killers, but who is going to get in a barrow and roll their way to the number one spot on our list? Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment. We're ranking all the Season 5 character deaths in Dexter. I say we're ranking all of them. We've got 11 to choose from. There may have been some minor deaths off screen, but we don't care about them. We care about the ones that we actually got to see with our own eyes. So with that said, 11 deaths, probably one of the, I would say on the lower end. I'm thinking of Dexter season deaths, and when you think about it, season 5, it pretty much took away any sort of mini kit. Remember, you know, in Dexter you always have like your little mini villains and your mini killers. Season 5 didn't really have that.
They probably felt there was no need since they had about 5 different ones, but looking back, you know, it's season 5. We're currently on season 7. It's probably the one season, so, you know, maybe alongside season 3, is it a reason why they're considered some of the worst? Where it's like, I'm not saying they don't have rewatch value, but they do feel the least important, don't they? There doesn't feel like any overarching thing from them is... I mean, yeah, season 5, of course, you do have like the aftermath of Rita's death, but it's almost like that gets completely forgotten about because it's the Barrow Killers, it's the Barrow Girl Killers. But like, what everlasting impact do they have going into like future seasons? I don't feel like it. Same with season 3, but obviously, like Trinity feels fucking massive. Frank Lundy's death, that feels massive.
Yeah, like
Stokes, you know, Rudy, all that shit. The Doomsday Killers, like that effect it has with Deborah and Dexter, that feels massive.
Season 3 and Season 5 somewhat feel a little bit like non-canon.
Yes.
Because Season 1...
Especially 3.
Season 1 continues on to Season 2. Because obviously you have Rudy, the ice truck killer. And then Season 2 with Dokes in the Bay Harbour Butcher reveal. Like, that carries on to the rest of the show. But you're right, it's like... Up to this point, if you had to remove 2 seasons that you felt didn't really have that sort of much an impact, then it probably would be those 2 seasons.
Yep, that's my point here. And just looking back at season 5, it was good. You don't really notice it when you're watching it, but looking back, it's like it does feel pointless. Is kind of it feels like a filler season just to get you through to 6.
If you were going to watch the first 6 seasons to get onto season 7, and you had to pick 2 to skip, I think it would make a bit of sense to pick 3 and 5. Because I do think they overall have less impact in the overall franchise.
Totally, but it just goes to show, it's like, when does Miguel Prado...
Season 5 did. The beginning of season 5, yes, but like you said, the Rita thing's quickly wrapped up.
No, it is, but it's, when does like Miguel Prado even get a mention? It's like the whole Yuki thing with Quinn in season 3, that gets quickly like say season 3 just vanished off the face of this earth and like no one could find it, and it just went from season 2 straight into season 4. Would anyone know?
You're not really missing much, are you?
I think like the few things like they get married at the end of season 3, don't they? Dexter and Rita.
Yeah. Season 5 is important at the beginning, obviously, because you got the aftermath of Rita's death. But I mean, other than that, yeah, no, I agree. Seasons 1, 2, and 4 are obviously top tier. But you know, season 6, you do get new characters introduced, and you do get the reveal from, and Deborah gets promoted as well, which I feel is like a big. So it's a big change in the command.
No, it is a big thing, absolutely. But anyway. We're not here to...
And then obviously she, finds out the truth about Dexter, so... Yeah! Anyway, with that said, let's go. Let's get into it. Let's do this. Number 11, we've got Emily Birch. Should have just died 20 years ago, man.
Dies off screen. It doesn't really make much sense to me why Jordan Chase, after all these years, finally just fucking decides to wrap it in. It's not like she ever betrayed him here. Yeah. It was always in his pocket, always on his side, and then she just dies off screen. Bit crap. Bit of a crap character. No, feel nothing towards
they were trying to... They killed her, I think, to get a bit of suspense and to maybe fool you for a split second that it was looming, but...
I think that's cheap, though.
At the end of the day, would you have cared if it was looming?
No, we wouldn't have, but
I think that is
cheap, though, for a reason why they've done that. I agree. I can't really see any other reason why Jordan Chase has killed her. She did everything he wanted her to do.
I guess he's just, cleaning up ties, I guess. But
Yes, but
I
she,
see no reason to believe
but,
that she would have betrayed him.
but she probably knows about every other murder.
Yeah, I'm just thinking that maybe because he thought, you know what, all my colleagues are dead and shit, so I'll just get rid of this final loose end. But anyway, speaking of Jordan Chase, he's coming at number 10 because honestly, I think that if you look at, see if you look at all the villains so far, is he got the weakest death? Or would you say it's maybe the Skinner?
I would say the Skinner was the weakest death. We don't know why, because I feel like
I don't know, but the Skinner was a bit fun because Dexter manages to free it and then just chucks him in front of that car.
but I think Dexter just tossed aside the season killer like a bag of shite.
Like it was a nobody.
I feel like Jordan Chase, at least for a decent period, was on top against Dexter here, even though it felt like he should never really have been. But Dexter was so hell bent on Miguel for most of the season. Towards the end, he was almost like, "Oh, who the fuck's this guy that mows lawns and does a bit of landscaping? Fuck this guy." Picks him up, flings him off. Deborah runs him over, and that's pretty much what happened there.
I don't think it was Deborah, was it?
Well, it was a car close to
I'm
Deborah.
pretty sure it was some black dude.
Well, some black dude ran the Skinner over anyway. Yeah.
Jordan Chase's death put. I just never believed it that Jordan Chase was going to take down Dexter. I don't
No.
give a fuck if Dexter's tied up. He just never had that sort of physical. You know, maybe a little. You can maybe argue the same with Travis Marshall. But I don't know. Just Jordan Chase. I never seen it.
No, like Dexter's battering Travis Marshall every day of the week, but Travis Marshall had he had the whole God thing on his side, and also he was smart. He could build fucking bombs. He could build like all these like mechanical traps. He could build these like toxic chemical weapons.
No, he was good at that.
What did Jordan Chase have?
He had heavies, he had muscles, but at the end of the day, he didn't really want to get them involved because he don't want the truth getting it. Before we quickly move on here, I think that they missed a trick by not having at least once. You never seen a scene with the Barrow Girl killers together. Now, yes, they do wipe out Boyd Fowler before we even get the reveal that there's 4 more, but we never got the 4 of them come together.
Aye.
Yeah,
No.
I think we had Alex Tilden and Jordan Chase have a conversation, and obviously we had Chase and Cole because that was his bodyguard. But even like Dan the dentist, like
I think it would have been a good way to scene with all 4 of them after Thingy died, the animal catcher dude. But then at the same time, it was still up in the air about who was who and what's happening. So they wanted to keep a bit of ambiguity in there. But no, I agree. I think they did miss a trick with that. But at the end of the day, where's he ranking? 10th.
10th.
I have no complaint. He's the final kill, and it was cheap.
Number 9, Alex Tilden. Just very, very cheap death. I think it's Lumen. She gets the first kill here. Her first kill of the series takes down Alex Tilden. Not a lot to talk about, really, is there?
It's not. He dies. The end. Not important as Jordan Chase, so he ranks above him a wee bit.
Yeah, number 8, we've got Yasmin. Oh, she's going to be an informant. She's going to be this, she's going to be that. She's going to get shot in the back in the club by one of the Fuentes brothers, and that's it.
Just a bit of a generic gunshot. Not much more to complain about.
Number 7, we have Carlos Fuentes. Shot by, I believe, Deborah. Headshot, bang. It was alright, I guess, but nothing.
A wee bit better than the one before, but again, I think with gunshots, you need to be a bit creative and simple one to the head. It's not exactly lighting up the scoreboard, is it? I don't think you'll be calling in an AC 130 on this kill, but we'll move on. We've got 6th, Cole Harmon. This rock star, the bodyguard. What a man he was. What was he amounting to this episode? Or no, this death? Not really.
Well, he kind of gets lured by Dexter, and he's got Lumen in the room, and he's about to, finish her off, and then Dexter comes in from behind and gets a chokehold on him and takes him down. And
But see, what I didn't like about season 5 as well is I think they weakened Dexter just so Lumen could get more involved. Do you not agree? It's almost like here, because there's 2 of them, we can't overbook Dexter. We need to make Lumen get a bit more involved and kind of show their degree that without her, he'd be snookered. When we see before and after, he's alright.
if anything, I think she was a liability.
No, she was a liability, but there was definitely a lot of scenes where she helped them.
I don't recall many.
They were doing recon in this guy's house. Fucking Cole got the upper hand on Dexter, and she came in and hit him over the head with like the fucking statue.
Well, I'll give you that one. Like that's true.
Aye.
That's about the only time.
No, there's a few other wee examples, but we'll talk about them a different day.
Anyway, number 5, we've got Boyd Fowler. I mean, I like Boyd Fowler. We had a little bit of a shootout with him and Dexter trying to tranquilise each other. Yeah, no, it was good. Dies in his house. Good character. Maybe death wasn't the greatest.
Just introduced us to a cunt.
Yeah, pretty much. So unfortunately, he's only number 5. Right, number 4 got Stan Liddy. Found out the truth about Dexter, a big case. Could this have got Stan Liddy the big promotion that he wanted? It would have certainly got him back on the force.
I like Stan Liddy, but you know what? I think we should have got more of this guy. I think what should have happened is that this guy should have been introduced earlier as a part of the team, and then you still go with the exact same storyline where he gets booted off the police, and then he goes against Dexter with Quinn Penham. I think for too long the show has needed more names and more faces in the actual bullpen, in the department. And I think if this guy was helping out against Trinity, and then in season 5 he gets busted, and then he goes dirty against Dexter, I think that would have been better. Again, I don't know what Peter Well was doing in season 4.
I'll tell you what, he also would have made I think he would have made a good villain.
No, he would have made a good villain, but
I mean, he probably is viewed as the villain for
Yeah.
most people, but I mean, all he was doing his job.
decent scene, but again, gets killed by Dexter.
Yeah, Dexter gets the upper hand, leverage, knife into Liddy, and that's it, boom. Right, and third, and we're just going to go with third and second here. We'll put them both together. We've got Dan Medall, the dentist, and Lance Robinson. So Lance Robinson's some gay guy that Dexter's killing. And while he's about to take him out, he's got him in the trunk. He's got him ready to go. Lumen then calls saying that she shot one of her guys, so Dexter's to go over there. And we get like a 2-for-1 special. Dan Medall tries to talk his way out, saying that he never did anything. Lumen's attacking him. Dexter's on the phone in the other fucking room. And then we hear Dan call Jordan Chase and say that bitch is still alive. Which obviously then Dexter realises, look, she was right. This is one of the killers. Then he snaps his neck and sets up a crime scene where it looks like maybe Lance Robinson and Dan Medall, got into it a little bit. And Masuka gives us one of the great, I don't know, the death debriefings or something like that, where he just motions what happened here, and he says this was like some sort or a big lover erect fucking fight.
A lover's quarrel, as Christopher Moltisanti once said.
Pretty much.
But yeah, you know what? Hard to split them up, these two.
This was like Fito and Johnny Cakes having a wee fight over dinner.
Thankfully, no one near as explicit. But I tell you what, it delivered the best episode of season 5. These two, so fair play to them both.
Yes, and coming in first place, we have Rankin, who is ranking number 1. And as far as I can recall, he is the first. He's probably the first time Dexter has truly broken the code. Because yes, he killed that Jonathan Farrow in season 4, and he also killed Miguel's brother as well, to be fair. But he killed Miguel's brother by accident, and he killed Jonathan Farrow mistakenly believing that he was, in fact, a killer. With this Rankin guy, he just killed him on pure rage.
Yeah, and it showed you how deadly Dexter can be.
I'm not quite sure what the weapon was like, but it was...
Aye, for me.
It looked like
hands for most of it.
It looked like an umbrella. But instead of like a big umbrella coming out, it was like spikes that came out.
Yeah. Oh no, what was it? I'm pretty sure it's, what do you call it?
It's not like the key for a baton or something, but it transformed into something else.
It was weird. It was almost like an anchor.
Aye,
using like a boat or something. Obviously, but then he was at one of those places that would require an anchor. So I would say, probably.
Dexter's like, my wife's just died, and Rankin says, your dead wife could suck my dick.
It was like a massive bit of bait you'd see like used on fish.
Yeah,
that he would use on like crocodiles or sharks, and considering it's Florida,
and that's all Rankin really was here for Dexter, some bait. And you know what? Harry seemed to approve.
That's the most human thing you've done all day, son.
No, he didn't even scold him, going, hey Dex, that guy didn't meet the code.
No, he's like, yeah, what a guy you are. I tell you what a death it was, out the blue. Sometimes the best deaths happen at the blue, and this was.
Definitely. Anyway, guys, that's it. And it was unique as well, because it wasn't just some guy getting put on a table. It was Dexter just acting out of instinct.
Killing.
So, aye,
Brutalising.
emotion.
Good
Anyway,
man.
that's it, guys. We'll catch you in the next one. Till then, peace.